Starting a YouTube automation channel is more than just posting videos or picking a niche. It's actually a mental game that you have to learn how, because you will deal with fear, doubt and uncertainty long before you even post your first video or start your first channel. You will procrastinate, you will overthink, and you will wonder if this is even all worth doing it long before you even start or post your first video. And this is exactly where Stoicism comes in. Now, this isn't a philosophy class. This is about timeless tools that warriors, emperors, and thinkers use to conquer their own fears and feelings of uncertainty. It is a tool to regulate the emotional chaos you might be experiencing. Because this is how I regulate my own emotions. And these are tools that you can directly implement in your daily life to move forward with clarity. So in this video, I'm gonna cover 7 Stoic philosophies that you can use to improve your daily life and mainly your business life. And also 3 mindset traps that every entrepreneur has to avoid when starting or already running a business. And at the end, I will give you a new way of how you think and use and control your time. And the goal of this video is not showing you how you can learn how to start, but actually becoming the person you need to be to run an online business. And the Stoics had a great metaphor to introduce this topic, and it's called the archer and the target. So imagine you are an archer. You've been training for months or even years, shooting on a target, and finally your big day or your big matchup comes. You've practiced, you've aimed, and you landed 100 shots. But on the big day, just as you release your arrow, a gust of wind hits your arrow and throws it off target and you miss your target. Is that shot a failure? Many would say yes, because you missed your target. But the Stoics see things in a different way. Because your job was to prepare, aim and release the shot and aim for the target. And doing so with your full presence. But the outcome is inevitable if external factors come into play, like the wind in this case. And the same goes for starting an online business, maybe doing a new sport, maybe starting a YouTube automation channel and running your first channel. You cannot control the algorithm, the timing, or the results necessarily, but what you can control is the inputs that you deliver every single day. The shot that you take is what is within your control, and you have to make sure that you do that on a consistent basis to actually get good at what you're doing. And that brings us to number 1 of the Stoic philosophy mindset that you need to implement. Focus only on what you can control. Because it's easy to get trapped into the chaos of what you cannot control when you start a new online business, maybe you start freelancing, maybe you start a YouTube automation channel. You might have questions like, will the algorithm push my content? Will I get like, views, subscribers? Will I make money from this? Is my niche oversaturated or not? And Stoicism tells us to focus only to the things that are within our control. They call it the internal locus of control. These are your decisions, your habits, and your systems. So instead of asking whether a video will go viral or not, ask these questions. Did I follow up with my uploading schedule? Did I improve my hook, title, or watch time sequence? Am I treating this like an actual business and putting in the reps? Or am I seeing it as a one-off lottery ticket? Because this is how professional business owners operate. They don't do things based on luck. They put in so many inputs that it becomes unreasonable not to see success from it. So you just have to check what your market is about and set standards where it's unreasonable to, let's say, go viral, get views or earn money. You have to focus on building the machine and the fundamentals. And if you put inputs in that machine, the results will always come later after that. So obsess over your habits and your routine and your systems, and do not obsess over the results or the numbers that directly come from it. Focus only on what you can control. Stoic mindset number 2 is using voluntarily discomfort to build your resilience. Because most people wait for discomfort to befall upon them, but the Stoics have a mindset of training to live in discomfort to be prepared for what the bad things about to come. Because in starting a business, discomfort will show up everywhere, like me recording this video right now. If you start uploading videos, it's always uncomfortable and you don't want to do it because you feel like you're bad at it, you don't know what the results are going to be, and you might look stupid or your friends might bully you for it. Maybe you make a video and no one watches it. Maybe you make an offer and no one buys your offer. These are all uncomfortable things that you probably don't want to go through. But instead of fearing these moments, you should start seeing these moments as lessons and a learning curve to get better at what you are doing. These are things like launching your channel before you feel ready, recording a video without the best gear that's available, sticking with a business or upload schedule for 90 days without quitting, for example. These are all uncomfortable things to do, especially if you don't see results yet. Because every single time that you act and put inputs without seeing direct results, this will build your character. You train your identity this way. And your mind will start believing that you are the type of person that does hard things even when you do not feel like doing them. This is the mindset that helps people keep on going even when they don't feel like it and want to quit. Stoic mindset number 3 is seeing obstacles as fuel, not as blockers. Marcus Aurelius has a beautiful quote on this, saying, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Because there's no scenario where everything will go smoothly or as smoothly as you would like it to be. Especially not in your first month running an online business or a new YouTube channel. Your idea doesn't land, your content flops, your editors leave you, you just name it. Problems will always keep arising in business. And every time something like this happens, you just gotta think to yourself, good, I'm seeing this as fuel to get better. The Stoics believes that these obstacles are not distractions from the path, but they are literally the path that you have to go through. Entrepreneurs call this feedback and creators call this iteration. So stop seeing your testing phase as failures, but start thinking how you can make things better based on the information you got from. So if no one clicks your title and thumbnail, study how to increase your click-through rate and start making more iterations. If your first 10 videos do not get any clicks, do research into SEO or virality of your niche. And if you keep getting distracted and don't stick to your uploading schedule, see what's wrong with your mindset or the conviction, the habits and the systems you have. Because each challenge is basically a training session. And you do not build momentum by avoiding the resistance, but you build it by pushing through. So start asking yourself, what if this problem is my advantage in disguise? Stoic mindset number 4 is detach from the outcome and master the process. Do not aim for perfection, but aim to be consistent. The Stoics taught us that we must pursue excellence in our efforts, but to remain indifferent to the outcomes of our efforts. And I know that sounds impossible, and that's the hard part about business. But here's the truth. Outcomes are always delayed. You can't control how fast your channel will grow and how hard the algorithm pushes you, but you can control how much inputs you make to make it grow faster. This is why you want to become a systems man in any business. With YouTube automation, for example, you want proven templates for your thumbnails and titles. You want to be good at script writing and study viral scripts from other videos that went well and mimic your scripts based on that. You want to study psychology in video editing on how to keep viewers engaged, for example. You want to have a system where you do the research and the uploading and the growing, maybe new channel research. You want to make systems and habits out of all these things to consistently grow. Your mindset shift should go from did I go viral to did I stick to my schedule this week? Did I make the amount of uploads I wanted to make? Did I write these scripts? Did I make these voiceovers? Did I edit these videos? Once you start focusing on the process, the results will come faster than you think. Stoic mindset shift number 5 is living by values and not by feelings. The sad reality is that your feelings will and can betray you. Some days you feel like skipping an upload. Maybe you feel discouraged when a video doesn't perform the way you wanted it to perform. And you can feel tempted to quit when the growth is going very slow. But Stoicism teaches you to not operate on these feelings, but to operate on the values that you set for you internally. So as an entrepreneur or a YouTube channel owner, you have to set these values for yourself when you're starting. Things like treating this like an actual business and not a hobby, setting your upload schedule every single week, deciding how much you want to spend on this every month, how many months you want to try this, always analyzing your titles, thumbnails and videos, getting 1% better every single time. You need to set these values for yourself, and then over time they will become the standards for your business and for yourself. Because if you do this, you no longer start asking yourself, do I feel like working? And listen to your feeling. You start asking yourself, does doing this align with who I want to be and who I am as my value? Because this is how you will build discipline, which will translate to reputation, money, income and freedom. Stoic mindset shift number 6 is remembering memento mori. This famous Stoicism quote basically reminds us that we are all going to die someday and that you better make the best out of your day and life right now when you're alive, because you have to know there's an end to all of it. And most people are guilty of falling for this or not remembering this, They prolong things, procrastinate. They say like, oh, I will start that YouTube channel in a few weeks, in a few months. They keep living their daily life. Maybe they're not completely happy with how that life is looking right now. And they avoid doing the hard things because they think they have enough time. But if you have this mindset, you will just keep prolonging things on and on and on. And this phrase just reminds you that you do not know how long you have left. You might be gone off this earth tomorrow. So you better start doing the things that you want to do today. So start working like this month and this day actually matters. Stop trying to optimize for comfort and start optimizing for impact while you are here. Stoic mindset shift number 7 is training your mind to pause and then act. In our modern world, we move fast and react even fast. If someone leaves a rude comment, you delete your video or question how good your video is. If a launch flops, maybe you change niches immediately. If your business model doesn't work out, you change business model and start all over. But Stoics practiced pausing, taking a moment to really analyze if all these comments are legit and if you're maybe not overreacting a little. Take a moment between impulse and action to get a clear mind and a clear view of the situation. A pause like this could be a little walk in the park, 20-30 minutes to reset your mind. Maybe journaling about the problem and how that is making you feel. Or it could be something simple as a daily review of your action plan and what you executed that day. This mental reset stops emotional reacting and responses and helps you derailing from your initial plan and system. Because stillness does not equal laziness in most cases. It's the ability to respond with intention instead of reacting out of fear. So start training your mind to pause and then act. Now that we covered the 7 Stoic mindset shifts you should implement, let's cover 3 mindset things that you should avoid if you want to run an online business or YouTube automation channel. So number 1 is do not chase motivation, because motivation is like the wind. It's very good when it's there, but it can be gone very quickly too. And if your business relies on these feelings of motivation, you're probably in for a hard time. The Stoics didn't wait for motivation or wait to be encouraged. They always tried to act courageously instead. And we have to try and do the same. So don't ask yourself, how can I stay motivated to post this content or create it? But start asking or telling yourself, who am I becoming when I post these videos and this content and start this online business? Because you are not just uploading a single video, you are molding yourself into a new character, a new identity basically. You become someone who shows up when it counts, a consistent creator, a business builder. Because that identity compounds faster than motivation ever could. People will say you were so disciplined, but actually you just stopped relying on your feelings. Mindset trap number 2 to avoid is do not react emotionally on first results. Whether these results are good or bad, it's very tempting to start stressing and worrying when your first video flops or get very happy when your first videos go viral. And it's easy to make assumptions based on either 2 of these cases. So instead of reacting to this and getting emotionally, start reflecting on why it worked or why it did not work. Because this early win or loss might fade within a few days again too. Low views is feedback, not a reality, not failure. Slow growth is data and not doom. And crickets after launching is a test and not a verdict. Every creator has to go through this initial startup phase. And the ones who always win and come out on top are the ones that did not react to early losses or failure. They zoomed out strategically and looked at the bigger pictures and their testing strategy. Because the moment you remove emotion, you reclaim your power. What part of this can I control, detach from, and improve? Now, number 3 of the mindset things you should avoid is don't assume that more thinking is more progress. Over-research, analysis paralysis, consuming multiple strategies or YouTube videos on strategies is probably not going to get you ahead or help you take action. It's a trap that usually confuses you more and makes you feel overwhelmed and does not help you to actually get started. You usually don't need more knowledge, you need more execution. Don't wait for the perfect plan. Just pick a method that's proven by someone you trust and stick to it for at least 90 days. Because progress does not come from perfect planning, but it comes from consistent doing. Even if that doing feels messy and uncertain when you're starting out. So you don't need more time, you don't need more information or knowledge, and you don't need a perfect strategy. What you need is a mental operating system that helps you to act and take action, despite fear, doubt, and not seeing results immediately. And that is exactly what Stoicism helps you to do according to what we discussed in this video. It's not about becoming emotionless, but it's about becoming unshakable, whatever happens externally to you. So let me know in the comments which Stoic philosophy mindset shifts I missed that you live by, and if you like this video. And if you want to start your own YouTube automation business, I actually made a video on our 5M method that I helped hundreds of people earn over $3,000 to $15,000 with a month from YouTube automation using these mindset shifts and our 5M battle plan. If you want to learn more about that, click this video and I hope to see you inside of my program soon.